State of Michigan versus Mohammed Dian.
Good morning, Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Mohammed Janan, who appears via Zoom from the MDOC facility. Sir, can you please state your name for the record?
Mohammed Janan.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have discussed this matter briefly with my client this morning. He was recently transferred to a different MDOC facility. So to that end, I was unable to visit with him either via video or in person prior to today's date. So I'd be requesting a brief adjournment so that can happen.
What's been doing?
2 weeks.
You want the 4th or the 18th? Well, it's two weeks exact on the 4th.
Yes, sir.
Maybe.
Maybe the 18th.
Sounds good, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'll adjourn the matter June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. Thank you, Mr. Dane.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court does call the case of the people versus William Parker.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Hi, sir. Tom Pietrowski on behalf of Mr. Parker, who's approaching and standing to my right. Hi, sir.
Name, sir?
William Parker.
All right. What do we do?
This is scheduled for an arraignment. We'd waive formal reading and stand mute, Your Honor.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea.
We are asking for a pretrial. I believe I've confirmed this with your clerk at June 14th. Please.
14th.
Yes, please. June 18th. I'm sorry. Thank you.
I'll adjourn this matter to June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. As to bond.
Good afternoon.
Sure, this is an alleged OWI second offense of the prior offense in 2022. People are requesting that the defendant be placed on a scram or a sober link.
Just
There
go
was
around the
no
bubble.
crash. The defendant was stopped after being observed engaging in bad driving. And the alleged VAC in the matter is 0.129.
Your Honor,
0.129.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think sober link is reasonable request, Your Honor. We would concur.
All right. Set the defendant's bond at a personal recognizance, $15,000 bond. All order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapons. You understand that, sir?
Yes, I do.
There should be no possession of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. I'm also going to order that you report to community corrections for placement on a sober link testing device. All right, and I'll sign
Thank
that.
you.
order.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Want me to set those to the side. Court does call the case of the people versus Kamara Reed.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Dan Garrett on behalf of Ms. Reed. She's stepping forward.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kamara Reed.
For arraignment, we would waive reading and stand mute, please.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea.
I'm ultimately asking for another pretrial mid-June if possible due to my client's requested travel, which I'll address in a second, as well as travel I have.
All right. Pretrial in this matter then will be June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. As to bond.
Here, this is an alleged OWI first offense. There's no crash. Alleged VAC 0.099. We are requesting
0.99.
Probably soberly in this matter. No priors, Your Honor.
No crash.
No crash.
All right. It's a traffic stop. Is that
Traffic stop for no headlights at, I think of note at the scene, it was a 08. And as it relates to any testing, I do want to address travel when Your Honor's ready.
all right? Set her bond at a $10,000 personal recognizance. All other standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapons. There should be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. Given the BAC level, I'm not going to place her on a testing device at this point.
Your Honor, I appreciate that. One of the things we added it, let me say this a different way. She's asking to go to Arizona today, leaving in like 2 hours. I was going to adjourn, but Ms. Lundy and I agreed to just do that today. So she's asking permission to,
If I said no, what happens?
she's staying right here with us. That's what happens.
Why are you going to Arizona?
My cousin's graduating high school.
Family thing, graduation. See, Karen knew that.
I did know that.
Yeah, and it's gonna, how long, today through
The 31st.
the 31st? It's a long graduation.
And family reunion.
Leave that out. All right,
Yeah, one thing I did want to mention, but I neglected to, I apologize for the interruption, is that the defendant at the time of the offense was 20 years old. She had not yet turned
oh,
21,
she
so
has not yet turned 21.
that's correct.
Okay, that changes. Thank you.
I apologize for the interruption.
All right. So I will indicate that the defendant may travel to Arizona today. I am going to order community corrections. I am going to order that she be placed on a sober link device, given that there's an age issue.
Could she go right?
She can go right now.
Good.
They're usually watching, but if they have a problem, they can call in.
Sounds good.
Usually people don't run over there asking to be put on a device. So,
Get her over there right now. Thank you.
all
Your
right.
Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have fun in Arizona. It's hot.
Yes.
Court calls the case, People versus Aaron Salazar.
Echelon for the people.
Morning, Your Honor. David Chan, on behalf of Aaron Salazar. Your Honor, we do have a plea in this matter in return for the super drunk charge being dismissed. My client will plead to OWI first.
That's correct, Your Honor. The 93-day misdemeanor, $100 to $500 fine, 6 points from his license and various other Secretary of State sanctions. Contrary to 257-6251A, will dismiss the OWI high VAC. There had recently been, not a violation, but a progress report cautioning the defendant to remain compliant with his sober link device. Mr. Shan had shared with me some of the explanation as to why there was that late/miss test. So I'm satisfied with that explanation and ready to move forward with this plea should the court accept it.
All right. And that's a correct statement of the plea.
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right,
He cleans residential houses and he takes sober link with him. And he left it at a residential house that he cleaned and then had to go back and get the owner to get the sober link out of the residential house so he could do the testing. So that was what happened.
May I have him sworn?
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, yes.
State your name, please.
Aaron Salazar.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge of operating while intoxicated. That is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days of jail, a $500 fine plus court cost. The court could order community service and any rehabilitative services the court deems necessary. The court could order your vehicle immobilized, could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And understanding that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes,
And to that charge, how do you plead?
yes, I'm guilty.
You pleading guilty?
Guilty. Yeah.
All right. Now you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
No trial.
Not right.
That's the stuff that we went through. Yeah.
You understand that you will not have a trial, sir.
I'm sorry. Boss.
Do you understand there'll be no trial?
Oh, yeah.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form today, is that correct?
Mhm. Yes, correct.
All right. Do you have any questions regarding any of those rights?
No.
Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
You understand these?
Yeah, I understand.
All right. You understand you're giving up those rights.
Yeah, you're waiving those. You're giving them up.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he understanding me?
Yes, you're.
Because I've got to make sure that he does.
Yes, he does. And that's why I'm slowing down because you speak really quickly and he does.
So that's the second insult Shan has given my court today. The first one when I wasn't out here, but was reported to me.
I did that.
No, you
is
you
not
said
an
it, and
insult.
I know you said it. Now you just did that. Now that first one was about how hard I think I work my staff.
It was an
And
honest,
then this
honest
was just a
statement.
direct attack on me. All right, so no, I won't hold that against you. All right, but is he understanding?
yes, he is.
All right. So you understand you're not going to have a trial. You're waiving all of the rights that are on this form.
I understand.
All right. You understand that you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yeah, I understand.
All right. Are you on probation or parole?
Yeah. I understand.
That's beyond bond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you under the jurisdiction of any other court?
No,
All right. Have you ever been to prison for longer than a year?
okay,
Have you ever been to prison?
yeah,
Have you been to prison
the present well,
in the United States? Have you ever been to prison? Not jail, prison.
yeah.
Okay. Council approach, please. Record should reflect that it had a bench conference with council. I'm going to stop the plea at this time. I'm going to adjourn this matter out. June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. And we'll take care of submission. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bond will continue. Court does call the case of the people versus Sarah Orr.
Testimony for the people.
Sherilyn Foster Tucker on behalf of Sarah Orr.
Or Your Honor.
Thank you. All right.
Can we read first?
Briefly, yes. Never gonna get through this. In fact, we've had a bench conference in this case.
Yes, Your Honor, and there has been an offer extended to the defendant to plead to an added count of failure to report $1,000 damage accident, 90-day misdemeanor, $100 fine, and 0 points, contrary to MCL 257622. In exchange for that plea, count 1 will be dismissed.
That is correct, Your Honor. And Ms. Orr does wish to accept that offer today. And I have handed the court an advice of rights form.
May I have her sworn, please?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name.
Sarah Orr.
No. Ma'am, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of failure to report an accident. It's damage over $1,000. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days and a $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Understanding that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You
Sorry.
signed an advice of rights form. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No.
Please look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
I do, Your
You
Honor.
understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily?
Yes.
Of your own free will?
Yes.
Because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
On May 22nd, 2024, at the location of Moon Road near Michigan Avenue, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Were you involved in an accident?
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened?
So I was in the yield lane or the merge lane, whatever it's called. And the other guy was in the through lane and we were at the red light. And when we were driving through, I got in front of him and then he got into the turn in lane. And then he says he was going to turn, but I don't think he was because of the way the damage is, he hit the front of my car and the front of his car. So he was trying to get back in front of me.
You're
But then
heading, you're heading north.
Correct.
You were heading toward Ann Arbor.
No, away.
You were heading away from
So
Ann Arbor.
south.
So you were coming past the Walmart,
Yes,
heading out.
right. Where State Street turns into Moon Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so you had this collision. Did you immediately stop your vehicle?
I did not. I was a little scared, so I did not.
Okay, you didn't stop. Did you immediately report that to the nearest and most convenient police
I did
station? You did not. Would you dispute that the aggregate amount of damage that can include repair cost was in excess of $1,000?
For mine or for his?
Total.
So you obviously don't know how much his vehicle.
Right, correct.
But would you dispute that if he says it was more than 1,000, would you dispute that?
I didn't see the damage, so I don't know.
We can stipulate that it
You'll
was over
stipulate the
1,000.
damage Total amount of damage to both vehicles was in excess of 1,000, including repair costs. You'll stipulate to that, counsel. All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
People are satisfied.
Defense is satisfied.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be
June 25th. At 9 a.m.
June 25th, 2025, 9 a.m.
And Your Honor, I do not expect a restitution. I do believe the insurance covered everything.
Covered everything. Okay, fantastic. All right. Thank you. All right, bond will continue. You'll stop down at probation on the way out. Just to
Okay.
check out. All right.
Okay, thank
Thank you,
you.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Court does call the case people versus Michael Klustra.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Morning, Anna Uberdas with and on behalf of Mr. Klustra, standing to my right. Mike, please state your name for the judge.
Michael Klustra. All right.
We have an adjourned plea trial, had discussions with Ms. Landy. May counsel approach, please.
Yes, briefly,
Thank you.
folks.
Today's the day.
I got a whole lot of cases.
Thank you, Anna. We're looking for another adjournment if we could. I don't know how long Ms. Landy thinks it might need to be.
I will accommodate the defense counsel schedule.
I'll do the 18th, 2025 at 9 a.m. If you think what you're working on is going to take longer, then let the court know and we'll figure that out.
Thank you.
Very
All
good.
right, thank you. Court does call the case people versus Gabriel Boyd.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good morning, Judge. Rita Sparge on behalf of Ms. Gabrielle Boyd. Judge, I had a very lengthy conversation with my client last night. I am quite shocked she's not here this morning and very, very surprised. I'm hoping that she's okay. So I'm just asking if you could just pass it for a moment. I've been trying to get in touch with her, but this is quite shocking. She's been here every single time. So I hope that
So it was a good conversation?
yes, very good
Okay, all
conversation.
right, I don't know, maybe you were yelling at her.
No, it was not anything bad. That's
No,
why I'm a little
okay.
bit, I'm a little bit worried about it. If you could just pass it.
I'll pass.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Court does call the case people versus Rebecca Dilworth.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
On behalf of Ms. Dilworth, not sure if she's logged into Zoom yet, Judge.
And Your Honor, I have prepared a nollie in this case. If she's not, I don't know if the court's received it yet.
I don't have Miss Dilworth.
With the case, Judge, we are asking that the court excuse her presence. We are expecting a dismissal from the people anyway.
You're moving to dismiss.
That's fine. Yeah, it works on its way. It should be here anytime now.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Case is dismissed. Thank you. Court does call the case of the people versus Natasha Olmos.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Kyle Burdell on behalf of Natasha Olmos, who's approaching the podium. And Ms. Olmos, please state your name for the record.
Hi, good morning, Natasha Olmos.
Thank you. What are we doing?
So, Your Honor, we are currently in plea negotiations. I believe we can come to a resolution soon. We are asking for an adjournment in this matter. I believe the court was giving June 4th or the 18th.
Yes.
I'd ask for the 18th. I'm not available on the 4th.
People picking their dates again. June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
And if we maybe heard us to bond.
Yes.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
Judge. So, Your Honor, Miss Olmos has been on a sober scram tether since the inception of this case. She's had no issues. There's been no positive tests, nothing with the tether. We are asking that.
Operating with an occupant less than 16.
Yes, Judge.
She'll remain on the tether. If that's what you're going to ask.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Court does call the case of the people versus Arello Beavers.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. Beavers, who should be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
I don't have him there either.
Your Honor, I did speak to him.
Arello Beavers. We have no response.
Your Honor, I did speak to him and did anticipate that he would be here today. I don't have an explanation for his failure to appear. For the record, I'd request an adjournment.
Beavers? No, not here. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond is set in the amount of $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's call the cases of the people versus Byron Blair.
Actually, Lonnie, for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate, on behalf of Mr. Blair, Your Honor, who I do not believe is present.
I have a
Excuse
Cedric
me.
Blair.
Oh, Cedric Blair.
Hello, who are you? That's Cedric Blair. That's not Byron.
I believe so, Your Honor, based on his voice. So as to Mr. Byron Blair, Your Honor, he does not have a working phone number. He is usually a resident of the Delana Center. I did send him an email and I did not hear back. To that end, I do not have an explanation for his failure to appear, and for the record, would request an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond is set in the amount of $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on it. Thank you. Court does call the case of the people versus Cedric Blair.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate, with and on behalf of Mr. Cedric Blair, who should be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Cedric Blair.
All right, what are we doing?
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution in this matter to which my client will be pleading no contest to the added count of retail fraud in the third degree, and in exchange, count one will be dismissed.
That's correct, Your Honor. That is contrary to MCL 7503560 as in dog 4, 93 senior $500 fine or trouble amount.
Sir, please raise your right hand. You'll need to unmute now, Mr. Blair.
I was trying to.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name again for the record.
Cedric Blair.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Blair, it is this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge of retail fraud in the third degree. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court cost. Fine could be increased to 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $500, that becomes the maximum fine. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And understanding all of that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
If I may, Your Honor.
Or plead no contest, I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's what I was just about to say. Excuse me, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes.
All right, 2 things about it I have to make sure that you understand. First thing is that it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes.
Second thing you need to understand about it is it means that the court is going to treat you the same as though you had pled guilty for the purposes of sentencing. You understand that?
Yes.
Basis of no contest plea.
Potential civil liability, Your Honor.
So, sir, to that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
That's correct.
Any questions regarding any of those rights?
No, Your Honor.
You understand that you'll be giving up your trial rights, which are described in paragraph 5, as well as all of the rights that are contained on that form.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole? That was a question, sir. Are you on probation or parole? Did he freeze?
Yes, he did. He's here though.
There we go.
He's
There we
back.
go.
Okay. Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today to get you to plead?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court has been handed and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 24-16486. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
Before satisfied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to count two. Count one is dismissed. Defendants referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be June 25th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. I don't have probation. I do. All right. Bond will continue. Sir, wait on the line. We're going to put you into a breakout room with my probation department so we can start the sentencing process.
Excuse me. Hello?
Yes.
You said I'm just automatically on probation? I'm just curious.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. That's why I was asking, Your Honor. No disrespect.
All right, but my probation department will interview you and will make a determination. So you need to wait on the line. You'll go into a breakout room with my probation department so we can start the process.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blair.
Court calls the
Thank
case,
you.
People versus Candace Brooks. You gotta come closer to the microphone. This is your first time doing this, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead. Take your best shot.
Your Honor, Christina Barrick-Darian requesting permission to practice pursuant to Michigan Court Rule 8.120 under supervision of Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Ashley Lonnie.
I won't embarrass you by going through the series of questions. I did that the other day. I know where you're from, where you are, right? You're at Wayne State, right?
Yes.
Okay, good school. You like Wayne State? No, you do? Okay, we'll let her practice. Permission to practice is granted.
Your Honor, Christina Barrick-Darian for the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Brooks. Ms. Brooks, can you unmute and state your name for the record, please?
Candace Brooks.
Okay.
You know, we are requesting an adjournment. Just want a little bit more time to talk to the people about a potential offer.
Hearing no objection, I'll adjourn this matter June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. Thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Jason Brooks.
The people. Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Brooks. Oh, thanks. Please state your name.
Jason Brooks.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I am requesting an adjournment. I was unable to speak with Mr. Brooks prior to today. I'll get updated contact information, just make sure we have the right number for him before he leaves the building.
All right, June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Court calls the case of the People versus Zachary Burlett.
That's the line of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Burlett, who should be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Zachary Burlett.
There he is. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have discussed this matter with the people, and it was my understanding that this was going to be a dismissal. Oh, sorry.
What did you say?
Just getting my notes pulled up there.
Oh, okay.
One moment to drop my screens. That's correct, Your Honor. We are going to be dismissing this case.
Certainly no objection to that.
Case is dismissed. All right. Thank you, Mr. Burlett. Take care.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Burlett.
Court does call the case of the People versus Justin Goltowski.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. Goltowski, who I do not believe is present, Your Honor.
He's in.
Oh, he's in Zoom. Perfect. So my message got to him.
State your name, sir.
Justin Goltowski.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're probably going to need an adjournment.
I am respectfully requesting an adjournment. I was able to speak to, I believe it was his roommate yesterday, so I'm glad the message got passed along. That is excellent news. But I do need to talk to Mr. Goltowski himself regarding his case, so I'd ask for an
June
adjournment.
4th, 2025, 9 a.m. All right. Thank you, sir.
I got a phone number for you. It's for my attorney, if you don't mind.
What'd you say?
I have a new phone number for my attorney, if you don't
Okay,
mind.
I don't want you broadcasting it that way.
Okay.
So you can call the clerk's office and give it, or let me give you the public defender's office number.
Okay.
It's area code 734
Yep.
222-6970. Call them, give them your updated phone number, as well as making sure that your email that they have is correct, and then you'll be all set.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case of the people versus Isa Awad.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Isa Awad.
Your Honor, this should be Ms. Deborah Ford. I don't.
I'm here. I'm here.
Who are? Okay.
I'm here.
Oh, there's Miss Ford's here.
Yes, Deborah Geraldine Bledsoe Ford on behalf of Isa Awad.
All right. And Mr. Awad?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I need you to turn on your camera, state your name.
Isa Awad, and my camera's not working. Give me 1 second. I fix it.
Okay, well. All right, what, and Miss Ford, you can verify that that's your client?
Yes, that's my client.
All right, what are we doing?
I'd ask that the matter be continued to June 18th. I would at 9 appear in person. My client has stated all along that he wants a jury trial, and I'd like to talk to the other side and see if we can negotiate anything. If not, then go further.
Can't do that by the 4th?
I feel it would be a strain.
June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you very much.
That's gonna have to be in person because he doesn't have a camera.
I'll be in person.
So that hearing's in person.
We will be in person. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, no, let's get this done. Court calls. Cases of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jason David Allen. All 9 of his files.
Ashley Lonnie for the people in all matters.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Allen, who should be present via Zoom from Dawn Farm. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Jason Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution of all 9 of these matters today, Your Honor. I don't know if Ms. Londi would prefer to put the resolution on the record, or I could do so.
I am happy to do that. Your Honor, start 22410696. The defendant will plead no contest to this charge to retail fraud in the 2nd degree.
Hang on, which case?
696.
696, he's pleading no contest.
As charged.
As charged, all right. Got it.
698.
Yes. He's doing what?
No contest to an added count for retail fraud in the 3rd. Dismiss count 1, count retail fraud 2nd.
That's no contest to that charge also.
Yes,
They're all no contest
yes,
from the reports I read. Okay, I hope they are. All right. Go ahead.
697.
Yes.
They'll be pleading no contest to an added count to a retail fraud in the 3rd degree, dismissing count 1 retail fraud in the 2nd degree.
All right. Okay.
328.
Yes.
They'll plead no contest is charged to retail fraud in the 3rd degree.
Okay. Okay.
And lastly, 278.
Yes.
There'll be no contest to an added count to a retail fraud in the 3rd degree, dismissing count 1 retail fraud in the 2nd degree.
Okay.
Case 699. And don't please, the dismissal cases now, 699.
719, 2419, and then 218 would be dismissed.
That's correct. Restitution for all cases and all counts.
So basically, he's pleading to 5 counts of retail fraud third degree.
1 retail fraud second, 4 retail fraud thirds.
Okay, hang on a second. Got it. Okay, in 696, he's pleading to retail fraud in second degree.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Why, I don't know, but is that correct? Is that a correct statement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor, and that is what I discussed with my client, and that is what he would like to do today.
All right, Mr. Allen, raise your
Yes,
right
sir.
hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state your name for the record, please, sir.
Jason Allen.
All right. Mr. Allen, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading no contest to 1 count of retail fraud in the second degree. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration, a $2,000 fine plus court costs. The fine could be increased at 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $2,000, that would become the maximum fine. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that also you'll be pleading no contest to 4 charges of retail fraud in the third degree. Those are misdemeanors punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. The fine could be increased at 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $500, that would be the maximum fine. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, 2 things about a no contest plea is that I have to make sure that you understand is that first of all, it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest any of these charges. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
The second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court's going to treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Basis for the no contest plea in these cases?
Potential civil liability, Your Honor.
All right. So, sir, to the charge of retail fraud second degree, how do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
To the charge of retail fraud third degree as contained in the case ending in 698 with an offense date of March 12, 2024, how do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
To that same charge of retail fraud in the third degree contained in the case ending in 697 with an offense date of March 17, 2024, how do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
To the charge of retail fraud third degree as contained in the case ending in 328 with an offense date of 8/29 of 2023, how do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
To retail fraud third degree as contained in the case ending in 278 with an offense date of November 27, 2023, how do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
All right, now you understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Looking at paragraph 5, those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
I am a participant of Judge Kunke's drug court.
All right, so you're on probation. Well, were you on probation at the time of any of these offenses?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court has been provided and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report in the case ending in 696, the report number 23-14001. In the case ending in 698, the public safety report and case number 244086. In the case ending in 697, court has reviewed the police report 244362. In the case ending in 328, court has reviewed the police report and police report case number 23-12936. And in the case ending in 278, court has reviewed police report ending in 2318100. Since I've read all those, counsel, is there any objection to the court having reviewed those reports?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court in each of those reports does find a sufficient factual basis in which the court could find the defendant guilty of the offenses as alleged, or sufficient evidence of defendant's guilt in those cases. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's pleas?
People are satisfied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's pleas in all of these cases to count 2 or to retail fraud second in case 696, and in the other matters to retail fraud third. The other cases, as indicated on the record, are no longer with me. Those matters are dismissed. All
Thank you,
right.
Your Honor.
Defendant is referred to probation for pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in these matters will be June 25th, 2025, 9 a.m. Defendant's bond in all of these cases will continue. Mr. Allen, I need you to wait online. We're going to put you into a breakout room with my probation department so that we can begin the sentencing process. Okay, sir?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
Thanks, Natalie.
What's all that?
The dismissals. I'll take.
Court does call the case of the People versus Lisa Keebler.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
It's only 9 or 10.
9.
Oh. Yes, I see that.
Good morning, Judge. John Shea with and on behalf of Ms. Keebler.
Your name?
Lisa Keebler.
Thank you.
May we approach?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Record should reflect we had a bench conference in this case. I will adjourn this matter out to July 2nd without objection, 2025 at 9 a.m. Would also indicate that the defendant is to report over to community corrections for switching of her devices from a sober link to a scram tether.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
I will be in touch with Ms. Londy and hopefully we'll move this case forward next time.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Pardon? Okay, do I have any I can call in this block? I'll try to get them. Well, no, I've still got, is your,
She'll be on Zoom, Judge. She was on Zoom, then got kicked out for some reason, probably something she did, probably pressed the wrong button, and now she's getting on back again.
you have it?
She is not currently.
All
I
right,
just resent her the Zoom ID again. She got.
we'll get you if there's anything I can do from that block and then before I take a break
Yes.
and try to
I
get some
can
of
give
these
you
folks
these,
out. So we don't fall.
And I can start calling in custody if you.
Let's just roll while we can. Court calls the case of the People versus Nadia Cosley. Good morning, sir. Yoo-hoo. Cosley.
In the 10 a.m. block.
Oh, that's me. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, it's okay. You guys were in some, I don't know what kind of conversation you were in. You were in some conversation. I was willing to wait. The only reason I said anything is because of Alan. No,
Well, thank you, Ellen. I appreciate the heads up. Good morning. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Causley, who should be on Zoom.
she is.
So we're here for one, well, I'd ask her to state her name first, please. Ms. Causley, can you unmute and state your name for the record?
Nadia Causley.
All right.
So we're here for trial, and then
There's another case.
correct. We've waived formal reading and stand due to those charges, Your Honor.
All right. On our other matter, that being the case ending in 513, defendant waives for reading stands mute. All right.
And then as for pre-trials, I'd ask for an adjournment of both cases. She's working on getting her license back.
Okay, where is she in that process?
Ms. Causley, do you know what you need to do to get your license back?
Yes, I just have to pay my insurance ticket. I got it suspended because I didn't pay the ticket. I'm just working with my manager to get my money.
Oh,
I've just been working. I'm in
so-
college and I'm paying rent.
Hold on.
So I'm just getting the money
You
to
said
pay
a-
the
You said a
ticket.
lot there. Hold on a second.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So you got to pay the insurance case because you're suspended because of that, right?
Yes, because I got into an accident with no insurance and I never paid the ticket.
Got it. And that's the ticket we just arraigned her on? Or is it another one?
There's another no insurance, I believe. But I have insurance now. I have car insurance now.
Civil infraction, no proof of insurance. Civil infraction, no proof of insurance.
Yeah, she didn't pay that ticket, so then Secretary of State suspended.
Suspended her license and now we have this new one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So how much time is she gonna need to straighten this whole mess out she's created?
And I will say for the record, she does now have insurance on the vehicle.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
Right. So she's making progress. She just has to get the money to pay that ticket off.
To pay that ticket off. Can she do it by the 18th of June? Subway pays well. She'll get it.
My birthday
June
is also this week, so I'll get birthday money.
What'd you say?
My birthday's next week, so I'll get birthday money.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued. All right, thank you. Well, I'll have to set a personal recognizance bond in her other matter. I'll just give a personal recognizance $5,000 bond. All right, thank you. Court, let's call the case of the people versus Sean Chernley.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Dismissal Township.
And actually,
Which one's in the ring?
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Charnley. Mr. Charnley, please state your name for the record.
Before we go on to the other case, Mr. Chernley, you have a new matter before me. That case alleges that on or about March 24th, 2024, at the location Carpenter Road in Pittsfield Township, that you did possess drug paraphernalia. You understand the nature of that charge, sir?
I do.
And that's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that, sir?
I do.
All right. Do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
I do.
All right. This is a public defender case.
Your Honor, pertaining to the arraignment, we'll waive formal reading and stand mute to the charges.
Defendant every way formal reading, standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea.
As for all the pre-trials, we're asking to adjourn all of them. Mr. Charnley is up in court, and we're kind of just seeing what happens on those. His next dates on those are June 5th.
Right.
Well, he has some May 29th. The latest date is June 5th. So I'm asking,
June 18th date.
yeah, I'm asking
One a date after those.
after June 5th, right?
All right. So, well, on his new case, I'll order standard conditions: no assault behavior, no possession of weapons, no alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. I'll adjourn all of these matters then to June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond and the other matters will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I did not, 5,000. 10%. She's, okay, hang on, let me do this one real quick. Court calls the case People versus Billy Cobb Gully.
Ashley Long for people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Cobb Gully, who should be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the record?
Billy Cobb Gully.
Thank you, Your Honor. As to the case itself, there is a resolution to which my client will be pleading no contest to the added count 2 of OWI, and in exchange, count 1 will be dismissed.
That's correct, Your Honor. That added count 2 of operating while intoxicated first offense, 93-day misdemeanor, $100 to $500 fine, 6 points, and various license sanctions is contrary to MCL 2576251A. I believe it will be a no contest.
Sir, can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, state your name for the record, please.
Billy Cobb Gully.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading no contest to the charge of operating while intoxicated. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. The court could order any rehabilitative services or community service the court deems necessary. The court could also order your vehicle immobilized, could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, sir.
2 things about a no contest plea I have to make sure that you understand. The first thing is that it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Basis for the no contest plea.
Potential civil liability, Your Honor.
Sir, to the charge of operating while intoxicated, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now you understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
That is correct.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No, sir.
Looking at paragraph 5, those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading no contest, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead no contest?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court has been handed in, or has been provided and has reviewed Michigan Department of State Police report for their case number 9303-24. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
On a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
Before satisfied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to Von Schwartz for an alcohol screening and assessment and the victim's impact panel. Sentencing in this matter will be June 25th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond with its conditions will continue. Mr. Gully, wait. I need you to wait on the line. We're going to put you into a breakout room with my probation department so we can start the sentencing process. All right, sir?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Stephen Grisbick.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Grisbeck. Mr. Grisbeck, please state your name for the record.
Stephen Grisbeck.
What are we doing?
Your Honor, we're asking for an adjournment of this pretrial of the possession of drug paraphernalia case.
Okay,
He's currently serving a sentence on his domestic violence case. I've been in communication with, and just, I guess for the court's knowledge and Mr. Grisbeck's knowledge, I have been in touch with Ms. Pilara. He's at risk of losing his Section 8 housing. I know Mr. Bernstein handled that DV case. I know the
Right.
court's aware of that. So she may, if he continues with the domestic violence classes, may move up his review hearing to June. They recommend that the
we
court.
were trying to move his case closer so his certificate or in the house wasn't in jeopardy.
I have 9 days before the 93 days is up.
I have him in custody for 55.
Your sentence is up in 9 days?
The voucher.
Oh, the voucher. You have 9 days left on that.
Are you saying that because of the amount of time you've been in custody?
So how much longer do you have on the DV classes? You were doing the ones in jail.
Yeah, I already did 5 classes.
How many are there?
There's 12-week class. I've already done 5 of them.
You're about halfway through.
Correct.
All right. So I know we were trying to get him to a certain point so they didn't lose that, but so I'll adjourn this pretrial to June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. I don't want to go, if we have to do another adjournment, we'll do it, but you've been in contact with Ms. Plea.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I don't know where you guys are in your discussions, but then have Ms. Blair get in touch with me so we can see if we can maintain his housing security.
Okay.
Okay.
I appreciate it. And if I may ask, is his bond on this case personal bond? If we do resolve the DV case issue?
I do, yes.
Okay.
I think the last time we were talking about his housing, I set a PR in this case.
Okay.
So that everything will be clear.
So if I get released, would I be on a GPS tether, correct, on the DV?
I'm not sure under what terms we would do the release.
Okay,
or that we're going to do it even. I know that we were trying to make everything work out for you on that. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Oh. Court recalls for the second time, case People versus Gabrielle Boyd.
Good morning, Judge Ada Spahich, on behalf of Ms. Gabrielle Boyd, who's present via Zoom. Judge, again, thank you so much for passing this matter.
Ms. Boyd, can you state your name, please?
Yes, Your Honor, Gabrielle Elise Boyd.
Your counsel told me to issue a bench warrant. She told me, she said, go out and find her. I had faith that she'd show up. I'm just letting you know.
I'm so sorry, Your Honor. I would never leave you guys. I would never do that. I would never stand off like that.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. I
It's
appreciate
okay.
that.
No.
Fire me and then we'll figure it out.
No, the reality is your client, your counsel stood up for you and had me pass it and everything and had me not issue the bench warrant.
I appreciate that so much.
All right.
Thank you so much, Judge. Last time we were here, we adjourned the pretrial because I needed some time for discovery. I have received all discovery. I have reviewed it. I am speaking with the sister counsel with respect to just if there's a way that we can resolve this case. There might be some potential legal issues in the case. I just needed some more time to discuss it with Ms. Landy because we might be able to resolve it short of me filing a motion. So that was just going to be a quick adjournment, and I wanted to address the bond as well, Judge.
All right. So will the 4th be enough time for you? Or
So, Judge, this is another thing. If I could, I know. I'm sorry, Judge. I know.
No, go ahead.
We're
taking all day with this case anyway.
I know. I might as well, I am going to be going out of town to visit my family back home in Bosnia. So I work when I'm there as a sole petitioner. I can't really take a lot of time off. So I work while I'm there. So I'm going to be appearing via Zoom. If you could give me the June 18th date, just because I'm traveling on that 3rd and 4th, it takes a long time to get there. If you could give me the 18th date, I can appear via Zoom if this is okay with you, Your Honor, and obviously allow my client to appear via Zoom. I will be working. I will be in communications with Ms. Landy.
That's fine. We'll do that for you.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
All right. June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Judge. And
As your invite indicates, yes, that's the bond.
just with the bond, yes. Judge, you previously granted my client a request to travel with her family on a cruise starting tonight, until May 31st.
I did that?
Yes, Judge, that was granted. However, I did not take into consideration the travel time back from Europe. So she's actually coming back June 1st. So I was gonna ask for just that one additional day. I didn't want her to just assume that she can come back on June 1st without asking you directly, Judge.
I'm trying to see, did I sign an order? I did, okay. And so you travel, so your travel date is the 1st of June.
So we fly back the 31st from Barcelona, but apparently time-wise, since they're 6 hours ahead, it will be the next day. So that's what my mom told me, at least, is that we will be arriving early on the 1st, but we will be departing for travel on the 31st.
You know what? You've got till June 2nd to get back. I'm not gonna do international datelines or anything. I'm done with
It's a
that.
6 hour
So
difference,
you
Judge,
have
yeah.
till June 2nd.
Okay, I'll for sure be back by June 2nd, for sure.
Perfect, Judge. And then one more request, and I will leave you alone,
Oh,
Judge. I
really?
swear, I know you're gonna.
Really?
Make fun of me. At least I don't come here
It's
that
my
often.
fault.
No,
So,
you don't.
You know,
But
so
when you're here, there's a lot of requests. Go ahead.
yes, Judge. So my client has twin sisters who are,
What?
who have their last performance as the lead of their Broadway musical in New York. So the whole family is going to that
What?
show from June.
So they're
6th
going to
through
Barcelona and New York.
No,
in June.
so
That's in
mine-
June.
Yes.
So that's from
mine-
June 6th to the 9th, and I'm respectfully requesting that you allow my client to travel to New York with her family from the 6th to the 9th to attend the show, the musical, that her twin sisters are participating in.
So hold it. She's going to Barcelona. She comes back. I've
Correct.
given her to June 2nd.
Correct.
She's then gonna like basically catch her breath and then she's off to New York.
And then,
Yes,
yes,
which is gonna be very tough because I travel to Europe quite a lot and it's exhausting.
My twin sister's been the lead of a Broadway musical for the last year and a half. Her
So
last.
hold on. It's not your, so it's your twin?
It's my twin sister. She's my twin.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Sister's not.
There's like 2 of them.
Yes.
Well, there's like 5.
Well,
of-
she-
there's
there's-
5 daughters.
I know, but there's 5 daughters?
I believe so,
Yes.
right, Miss Boyd? Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
there's 5 of us total, and she is extremely hardworking, a U of M musical theater graduate. It's really important to her that I be at her last show, she's expressed to me. And
She
I also,
wants her twin there?
she has stated that to me very clearly, that she wants me.
So I'm supposed to do this for her?
For me, Your Honor, because I would really love to be there to support her. I would be traveling via train with my grandfather to take him because it would be his last opportunity to see her. So
Oh,
it's
okay,
yeah.
you sold me. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Thank you, Ms.
What
Boyd.
dates, what dates are there?
June
June
6th
6th
to June 9th. We will be back the 9th.
Council, if you can prepare an order.
I will, Judge.
Fine, just, that includes both of your clients.
I will make sure I prepare a new order.
All right,
It'll include both, and I'll make sure I file that today.
thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you so
Take
much for your
care.
patience.
much.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd.
Godspeed to all of you on your journeys.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I know, I will. Court calls the case People versus James Jan. Do I what? I don't know. I'm gonna, yeah, at some point I've got a break. Because I've been going a while here, but.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Smithfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Jantz, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution in this matter to which Mr. Jantz will be accepting the offer extended by Mr. Stiller, pleading guilty to the charge of MCL 257326, and in exchange, count 1 will be dismissed.
So, Your Honor, I move that count 2 allowing an ineligible person to drive, MCL 257. You accept that guilty plea. I move this as original charge.
Have him sworn.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yeah.
Yes.
State your name.
James Jantz. Sir, this is court's understanding. You're gonna plead guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 90 days jail, $100 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
Still wish to plead guilty? To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You signed an advice of rights form today, is that correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No.
Look at paragraph 5, you'll see a copy up there. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form. Bless you. You understand you're giving up your right to appeal over.
Yeah.
Are you on probation or parole? Has anybody promised you anything in order to get you to plead? Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
Yeah.
On the date. Oh, no, she's coming back. On the date of January 21st, 2018. Is it 18 or 19?
31.
2019. Location of Carpenter Road near Washtenaw Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Did you allow someone who is otherwise ineligible, maybe inclusive of yourself, to operate that motor vehicle?
Yes.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Anything you want to say before I impose sentence in this case?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I would ask the court to consider sentencing my client to the state minimum fees and time served. It's my understanding he served about 31 days in custody. He's being held on another matter on a $10,000 bond. I would ask, given that, the court would consider the state minimum and time served for sentence.
Is there anything you want to say?
No.
$125 statutory fees, 31 days in jail, credit 31 served. Thank you. Court calls case People versus Ashton Ebler.
People.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Ebler, who appears via Zoom. Sir, can you please state your name for the court?
Ashton Ebler.
All right, what are we doing?
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe we are very close to a resolution. I'm respectfully requesting a very brief adjournment. I did provide some documentation to the people, and I believe they just need to check with the officer in charge.
June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Court calls the case People versus Carl Tinsley.
People.
Is that what Johnson was here on?
Yes.
Is that, you gotta watch, Alan, did you see him sitting over there in the corner? He was hiding. He comes in here and hides. Go ahead.
Good morning, man. Please, this Honorable Court, Kareem Johnson, on behalf of Carl Tinsley, who's approaching from custody.
They're bringing. Your name, sir?
Carl Tinsley.
Thank you. Yeah, just step over. Yeah, there you go. All right. Okay, what are we doing?
Your Honor, we ask this matter be set for jury trial.
All right. Jury final settlement conference, June 6, 2025, 9 a.m. Jury selection, if necessary, June 9th, 2025 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. What I'd like to speak about this moment.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, counsel first.
I have jury selection Lawrence Buckner in the Ypsilanti District Court on June 9th.
Jury selection?
Yes, Your Honor.
Before Judge Barr?
Yes, Your Honor.
It'll be here.
Okay.
We all select on the same day.
All right.
So.
Your Honor, if I may, so Mr. Johnson and I are at a fundamental difference in defense strategy. There's no point in us moving forward together on this case. Mr. Johnson is representing me in circuit court. I've submitted a motion to have Mr. Johnson removed as counsel in that case.
Why?
Excuse me?
Why?
Why? Because Mr. Johnson is totally uninterested in this case, in that case, in this case
Okay.
as well.
Mr. Tinsley, Mr. Tinsley, you've been before me before, and I'm just gonna tell you this.
Okay,
I haven't known Mr. Johnson necessarily all that long,
okay.
but I'm gonna tell you for maybe about the past year plus that he's been appearing before this court, there has not been a client that he has walked into this court where he has not been interested in their case and zealously representing his defendant. So I don't believe you. You coming before telling me that about this attorney? I don't believe it for 1 minute, not 1 minute. I think because you've been before, is that you're probably not listening to him. He is advising you. I can guarantee he's protecting every right you have.
And you'd be absolutely
the
wrong.
fullest.
I have not seen, this gentleman has told me he's gonna show up to see me countless times at the county jail. He has not. I've been waiting over 2 years for
what?
for discovery in another case at all. This gentleman doesn't answer his phone. You're making these assertions without having personal experience.
I'm done.
He
done. If
is
you want to file
a
motion,
tool
if you
for
want to,
defense.
if you want
He
to file,
is- he-
if you want
he
to
is
file,
not
you're out, Mr. Tinsley, you're done. You're done. You are done.
Yeah, I think I need to respond to the 2-year comment. Mr. Tinsley does have a matter that's been pending for 2 years. I'm the 4th attorney on that matter.
I know.
I have only been representing him since April. When I go to speak to him, he doesn't want to talk about what I want to talk about, Giannis.
I know.
I just want to clear that up for the record.
And Mr. Johnson, I meant my words sincerely. I've dealt with Mr. Tinsley before. This is a game he plays. So I'm done.
All right.
You're
thank
still
you.
on this case regrettably, but you're still on it. All right. Take care, sir. Court calls the case, People versus Otis Elliott.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Elliott. Mr. Elliott, please state your name for the record.
Otis Elliott.
You know, my client and I have spoken about this case. We are asking for an adjournment. It's a little bit old. We are gonna
Yeah.
do some investigation, and do some things, speak to people about.
Well, it's old because he was like bench warrant.
He wasn't bench.
He
warrant
was like
for very
2
long.
years. That's why it's old.
Yeah, but he's back here now, so
Well, kinda. All right.
hopefully we'll get things back.
So you
on
want
track.
another adjournment to what day? What, you want the 18th or
I'll
the
take
4th?
18 if that's okay. All right, thank you.
You're gonna come back, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. All right. Take care. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus North Hasham.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Sham, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Okay, Sam.
How you doing?
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do want to apologize to my client. I did just find out this morning that he was in custody, so I was,
Me too.
So which explains why he didn't respond to me. He does.
I was calling the case and I expected maybe, okay. Okay.
So, he's not being held on this case, Your Honor. I'd request a brief adjournment to probably get that documentation regarding his vehicle to resolve this.
But June 4th, you think? June 4th work then?
Yes, definitely, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'll adjourn the matter June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. Yeah, for sure. So you have a PR on this?
Let me check. I believe so. She did say.
Yeah, I think I've got a PR on this case. I was gonna leave that if you want me to leave it, or do you want?
That would work if it was held as a PR, Your Honor.
Or do you have? I just want to make sure he does.
This
So that
actually has a $1,000 cash already.
I did. But that was
That's back in January. I don't have anything else.
That was January, and then I set it at 10%, but then I said to be a PR on January 15th. And
Yes.
apparently nobody changed it. So I'll I'll just do it this way. I'll set it at a PR $1,000 bond on this case.
Thank you, Your
That
Honor.
way, I'll just,
Yes,
okay.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. Court does call the cases of the people versus Sarah Gray.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Gray. Your Honor, I have not had contact with Ms. Gray. I did provide her with. I'm not sure if she's present.
Are all three on?
The bottom one is we don't have.
She's not on Zoom.
I have no explanation for her. I requested.
Bench warrants will issue for the defendant's failure to appear in these matters. Bond will be set in the amount of $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on each case, and each case sale will issue immediately.
What was the bond that was on the
5,010.
on the felony as well?
The felony, actually, I don't think felony already has a warrant.
That's okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the cases of the people versus Christopher Minor.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Minor. State your name, Mr. Minor, please.
Thank you.
So, Your Honor, we have made a little bit of progress. We were waiting to see what happens with the felonies. He has pled on those felonies to all misdemeanor cases, or all misdemeanor charges. His sentencing is scheduled for June 5th, I believe. I'm sorry.
On the misdemeanor cases? On the
sorry.
felony cases that are now misdemeanors.
The sentencing is scheduled for June 9th. So we're just asking for a date after that to see what he's sentenced to, and hopefully, you know, if, depending on what it is, get some parity with these.
Got it. So June 9th is when his sentencing is on those other ones, right?
Right.
All right. So I'll adjourn these out then to June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Court calls the cases of the people versus Larry. Is it Wikima? Yeah.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Wakima.
You don't have him in Zoom?
Okay, well, I did speak with him, Your Honor. He does have a valid license now. I'm not sure why he's not here. I did provide him with the necessary information. I would request an adjournment on all three cases.
He has a valid. Yeah, he does. So there would be some type of deal on these, correct?
Yes, that's what I'm hoping for.
All right, I'll adjourn it out one time. I'll grant you the adjournment. June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. on all matters. Figure out what we're. Court does call the case of the people versus Daniel Sims.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with on behalf of Mr. Sims, who is approaching. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Mr. Sims, Daniel Sims, sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have discussed this.
I'm not all the way awake, I'm sorry.
You don't know your name? All right, no, go ahead. You're all right.
At least you said Mr. Sims. I mean, it's still correct.
I just repeated her, I'm sorry.
So, Your Honor, I have discussed this matter with my client as well as the people. We are wishing to set this case for final settlement conference at this time.
All right, jury final settlement conference for Mr. Sims will be June 6, 2025. 9 a.m. Jury selection, if necessary, June 9th, 2025 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go back and get some sleep. Court calls the case of the people versus Dejon Holmes. 3 cases.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Pardon?
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
I don't.
He was. I didn't hear your first part.
I don't have him having.
Oh, I don't know. Deshaun Holmes, I think because we've issued bench warrants, but I don't even know why these are on. Did he do a warrant recall?
There might have been one.
I don't see the paperwork. All right. Let's go through the motions again. Bond in each of these cases will be set in the amount of 10,000, 10%. Those warrants will issue immediately on all these matters. Court calls the case People versus Jason Williams.
Epsilon for the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, please state your name for the record.
Jason Williams.
We're here for a pretrial hearing. I also filed a bond motion on behalf of Mr. Williams.
All right.
I would rely for the most part on the written motion. However, I do want to emphasize a few things. I did speak with Mr. Williams, his therapist at his substance abuse treatment center. He did do a number of sessions before being incarcerated, his bond being remanded, including 8 group therapy sessions, 6 individual therapy sessions, and 8 AA sessions. She did indicate due to his positive test, they'd love to see him back, and that they would recommend extending his treatment for an additional 90 days. I also spoke with his employer. They gave him a 30-day leave of absence. He is welcome to go back to his job if and when he is released. And they all
Works
seem
at U-Haul.
at U-Haul, correct, in Novi. They all seem very happy with Mr. Williams' performance, and do want him back. He has been in custody for 28 days as of today. So given that, I'm asking for the court to consider releasing him on a personal bond. We've spoken many times since he's been remanded. I think this is the first time he's ever done any time in jail. He's had a lot of time to think about his choices, and I think he's ready to get back on the wagon, get his life back on track, and take care of what he needs to do. He's willing to provide the court with progress reports of how his treatment is going. I think he'd be willing to wear a scram tether or any increased bond conditions the court may recommend.
Anything from the people?
Now, with a history of non-compliance while on bond, the people would request electronic monitoring of some kind, preferably a scram tether, perhaps just for the interim, to make sure that the defendant is not going to be taking a lot of bond for this operating while intoxicated offense.
Anything you gotta say, Mr. Williams?
No, sir.
Been an educational experience for your head.
Yes, doing these 28 days when I was here, I did learn a lot. I did become better. I had a lot of time to think. I have grown since I've been here. Like, at the end of the day, you have to be responsible. You have to obey the law. You have to do what you need to do and be able to just adapt to life and do what you have to do when it's all said and done.
Sorry you took this for it to come to that, but however, we have to learn it, right? I'm gonna set his bond at a $25,000 personal recognizance bond with his previous conditions reinstated. Scram tether prior to release from.
Thank you, Aaron.
All right. And then how much time did you want me to adjourn this out?
I think June 4th should be sufficient. I just need to have another conversation with Ms. Lundy.
Adjourn it to June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Court calls the cases of the people versus Jermaine Nathan. 3 cases.
On behalf of Dismissal Township.
And Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Nathan, who is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please state your name for the court?
Jermaine Nates.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have discussed this matter with my client, all 3 of the cases. There was an offer extended in the township case. Ultimately, we're asking for a 4 to 6 week adjournment in all 3 cases to see if Mr. Nathan can become validly licensed.
Okay. So he's trying to get his license back.
He is. He just needs to check on some things. But yes, Your Honor.
I'll adjourn July 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Nathan. You're all set.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry. Court calls the case People versus Rick Artuso.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Artuso. You don't. Got it. Go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Artuso in 2 of the matters, but not on the case ending in 217. I believe that is Mr. Burgess' case, Your Honor.
It is. And do we know, anybody know whether Mr. Burgess is gonna?
I have not had communication with him, Your Honor. No, I cannot speak to that.
Got nothing from him this morning. Okay, well, what were you gonna do on your case?
So we were going to ask for a very brief adjournment so I can confirm the status of my client's license and provide that to the people. I have discussed this matter briefly with them regarding both of the cases I am on. So I'd request a very brief adjournment. He is being held on a felony matter with his next court date being the 29th
Of
May.
Okay. Well, why don't I do this? There must be some mix up because Mr. Burgess is usually here. Have you
Yes.
spoken with him, sir?
No, I have not, Your Honor.
You haven't? Okay. Then there's something.
And Your Honor, Ms. Payne, I believe did alert me as well to the 2 ticket cases. It may be duplicated, so it may be duplicate files. So I need to review those as well. So the 6/4 date, if the court would be so kind, would be one.
Yeah, I will adjourn it to that
Thank you.
day. We'll just put it out to June 4th. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Ms. Payne, if you could be so kind as to, for your client's sake, let Mr. Burgess know. Of
Absolutely.
that. Okay. So, sir, I'll adjourn this out June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Court does call the case of the People versus Rashad Shafi.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Shafi. State your name for the record, please.
Yeah, he's in jail.
Yes.
Mr. Shafi?
Hello,
Hello. State your name.
Rashad Shafi.
Thank you.
I'm
He's
requesting.
not driving, is he? Stop.
Hey, do you see me?
Moving. You're a passenger. Okay.
Well, Mr. Shafi is maybe on his way to Bear River right now. He's going to Bear.
Where you're heading?
That's exactly where I'm going. I got these gentlemen that picked me up at Bear River or at my house, and we're going.
Okay, everybody's gonna wave now.
I like the view.
All right.
So as part of the plea agreement, if Mr. Shafi completes treatment, this case will be dismissed. So I'm asking, he may be there for a 30-day period or 60-day. As the court knows, there's an assessment that's done. And so I asked maybe go out 30 days, and if he's
Well,
still there.
Yeah, I got you. So I'll go to July 2nd.
Okay.
2025. 9 a.m.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Not a
Appreciate
problem.
you letting me go to retreatment.
Not a problem, sir. I appreciate that you had the courage to do it.
Mr. Shafi and I go back 30 years, Your Honor. So,
Really?
I'm familiar with it.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right, his bond will continue. Mr. Jaffe, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Court calls case, People versus Kevin Kernan.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
And good morning, Your Honor. Joseph Hall appearing for on behalf of Mr. Kiernan, who is approaching. And Kevin, if you could state your name for the record, please.
Kevin Kiernan. Thank you.
You have an agreement, Your Honor, on adding count 2 of civil parking. Defendant's going to admit responsibility to that count 2. If you accept it, it moves to Mr. Attorney.
That's a correct statement, Your Honor. I have authority from the client to admit responsibility on his behalf, and I do so for Your Honor's purposes.
All right, court will accept that admission. To count 2, count 1 is dismissed. Fines and cost of $180. When can that be paid?
Your Honor, can we get 14 days to pay, please? I said please.
You got $180.
I said please,
No, okay.
Judge.
Pay it by June 6th.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, folks.
Okay. Yep.
Court calls the case of the People versus Jessica Fox.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good morning, or good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Ms. Fox. Ms. Fox, please state your name for the record.
She is in Zoom my front.
You read her?
Yeah. Lonnie Jessica.
Okay, I think I got it.
Okay, your name?
Jessica Fox.
All right, very good. All right.
Your Honor, I did, just last night, Ms. Fox did get proof of her treatment and, tests for the last, from July to December of last year. I did confirm that she was negative for alcohol in all of the tests, and she did complete, treatment for quite some time. I think she started back in, 2021. And then completed in 2024. I can provide that to the court if the court would like that. Given the nature that I just did get that to the people last night, I am requesting an adjournment for further plea negotiations, and hopefully that can assist us in coming to a resolution.
June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All righty. Thank you, Ms. Fox.
Thank you.
Court does call the case People versus Freyon Haywood.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
I'm sorry.
This is a show cause for them to appear.
So show cause has already been issued.
Yes.
Freyon Haywood, no response, bench warrant, 5,000. 10%, that warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Christopher Holt.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Holt.
He's on. Christopher Holt.
Yeah, good morning. This is Christopher Holt.
All right, thank you.
So, Your Honor, I apologize. I'm asking for one last adjournment. Mr. Holt and I did speak about the offer. I think we're getting very close. We just need to finalize some details.
All right. June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continue. All right. Thank you, Mr. Holt.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case People versus Micah Jones.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Jones. Your Honor, I attempted multiple times to contact Mr. Jones. I was not successful. I don't see him here in the courtroom. Not sure if he's on Zoom. I don't have an explanation for his failure to appear, and for the record, I would request an adjournment.
I got two screens, so I don't.
He's not.
You don't have. All right. Jones, Micah Jones, no response. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of 5,000. Look for a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately. Court does call the case of the People versus Pauline Macharia.
Ashley Lonnie for the people. Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate, waiting on behalf of Ms. Macharia, who should be present via Zoom.
Yes.
Can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Pauline Masharia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm respectfully requesting an adjournment. I have discussed this matter both with the people and my client. I believe this is a case that will ultimately be able to be resolved, but we just need to speak about a few more things before that happens. I agree, Your Honor.
June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Court calls the case, People versus Rebecca Miller.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate with and on behalf of Ms. Miller, who appears via Zoom from Dawn Farm. Ma'am, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Oh, there she is. Can you unmute, Ms. Miller? If you can't, oh, see ya. If you hold on the space bar, you'll be good.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, Jonathan. Sorry, I was
All
like,
right.
I wasn't unmuting.
Your name?
Rebecca Miller.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the people have extended an offer in this case that I was able to briefly discuss with my client yesterday. However, she is inpatient at Dawn Farm. We were just able to connect for a phone conversation last night. So I'd be requesting an adjournment to further discuss that with her. And then if she would like to accept that offer, days the proper paperwork to the court.
Adjourned to matter June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued. All right. Thank you, Ms. Miller.
Thank you, sir.
Court calls the case, People versus Kiana Patterson.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate on behalf of Ms. Patterson, who may be present via Zoom.
I'm down to one screen. Patterson, I don't have it.
Your Honor, I don't have an explanation for Ms. Patterson's failure to appear. I did leave her a voicemail, but unfortunately did not hear back. For the record, I request an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $5,000. Give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. Court does call the case of the People versus Alicia Stewart.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate with on behalf of Ms. Stewart, who should be present via Zoom. Ma'am, can you please unmute and state your name for the record? She's not.
She is also not checking.
Your Honor, I did speak with her and asked for an adjournment. She did end up having her administrative hearing date with the Secretary of State on May 1st. We were still awaiting a decision. I did provide her with the Zoom and expected her to be here. For the record, I request an adjournment.
Alicia Stewart, no response. 5,000, but bench warrant 5,000, 10%. Warrant will issue immediately. Court calls the case of the People versus Jada Taylor.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Ms. Taylor. Ms. Taylor, please unmute and state your name for the record.
Hi,
Oh,
Jen.
Your Honor, we're asking for this for final settlement conference.
Jury final settlement conference, June 6, 2025, 9 a.m. Jury selection, June 9th, 2025, 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, ma'am. Court calls the case of the People versus David Wagner.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
David Wagner, oh, there he is. Okay. I kept looking at my screen and didn't realize there were actual people here. No. Your name, sir? David Charles Wagner Jr. All right. Sir, you are, this is right. You are before the court on a misdemeanor complaint that alleges that on or about September 26, 2024, at the location of 2224 Gulfside Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you did fail to provide proper care and or work beat 2 or 3 animals, contrary to Michigan statutes. That's an abandonment or cruelty of animals statute. Do you understand what you're charged with, sir? Yes, sir. All right. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration, a $2,000 fine plus court costs. Court could order community service also, or any combination of those penalties. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You also understand that the court could order a psychiatric evaluation and may order cost of care of housing any animals that were seized, as well as either housing costs or veterinary costs. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And I also could order that you not possess or own any animals. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. First question I have for you is, do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
Yes.
This is a public defender case.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Wagner, we would waive any further reading, stand mute, and ask for an adjourned pretrial date, please.
Defendant every way from a reading standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea in this case. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. As to bond.
Your Honor, the people do request standard bond conditions and unsecured appearance bond, and we also are going to make a request that while on bond, the defendant have no animals in his ownership or custody or control.
Not in my name. Yes. I have 4 cats and two dogs. They belong to my wife, my kids. Anything you want to say, Ms. Payne?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I would ask that those animals be allowed to stay in the home. He states they belong to his wife and children, understanding that my client should not have any interaction with those animals, so to speak. I would ask that he be allowed to remain in the home, certainly, and ask that the pets not be removed from his wife and kids.
You said there were how many cats? 4. And 2 dogs?
Yes, sir.
What kind of dogs?
One is, it's a small dog. That is my wife's dog. It's a poodle. Yorkie poodle. That's my wife as my.
Okay. What kind is the other dog? All right, here's what I'm gonna do. Gonna set his bond at a $10,000 personal recognizance bond. I'll order standard conditions, including no assault to behavior or possession of any weapons, no alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug use. I'm gonna indicate the defendant is not to have contact with or have possession of any animals.
Yes, sir, I understand.
And so I'm going to indicate that with reference to the 4 cats and 2 dogs, I would need either veterinary paperwork or others type of purchase paperwork that would indicate by the next hearing, that would indicate that these animals have ownership with someone else other than the defendant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Otherwise, so that we're clear. If I don't get that, then what's going to end up happening is I'm going to order all of them removed from the home. All right.
Understood.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll get this number to you.
Yeah, that was 6-4 or 6-18, I'm sorry.
6-4.
Thank you.
Court does call the case People versus Kalaya Williams.
Ashley, one of the people?
This is a show cause for people to appear for.
It's a show cause.
Yes.
It is. Kalaya Williams. No response. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $5,000. I'll give it 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately. Court does call the case of the People versus Monai Williams.
Ashley, one for the people?
This is an arraignment.
Yes, sir.
Monai Williams. I'll issue an order to show cause on this.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court does call the case People versus Sammy Alderson.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Dismissal Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pay on behalf of Mr. Alderson, who gave me authority to accept the offer on his behalf.
So Your Honor, I move to add count 2 of double parking. Defense counsel is going to admit responsibility if you accept it and move to dismiss to reading third.
And you have authority to accept that,
Yes, Your Honor.
and on behalf of your client, do so.
I do so, yes.
Okay, court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can they get that paid?
Three-handed, Your Honor, I did have a long conversation with Mr. Alderson. He receives SSI and was just asking if the court would give him as long as possible to pay. So I told him that.
Do we know how much the SSI is?
I don't know exactly, or I should say, I did not write down how much he gets monthly, Your Honor. He did say that he knows for a fact he could pay it within 6 months or by the end of the year. So I said I would explain to Your Honor the situation after.
Yeah, without knowing what his SSI is. So here's what I'll do. I'll indicate that he needs to pay that by July 31st. Okay, so that'd be 3 months. That'd give 3 months if,
Your Honor.
okay. Court does call the case People versus Audrey Beatty.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Dismissal Township.
2 cases.
I'm here, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Beatty. Ms. Beatty, please state your name for the record. Audrey Beatty.
All right.
So, Your Honor, we have come to resolution. Ms. Beatty got her permits. She passed her driving test on Monday. I did provide that to Ms. Miller. I hope you received it. I did email it over yesterday.
You got her permit when?
She passed the test on Monday.
And I do have a copy of it, Your Honor.
You did? Okay.
I do. So in case 1391, she's going to admit double parking.
Okay.
So I add that count 2 of double parking in 1391. If you accept that admission, move to dismiss the original misdemeanor as well as case 1392.
Correct, counsel.
That is correct, Your Honor. She would like to accept that offer today.
All right. And Ms. Beatty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you admit responsibility to the fact that on August 10th, oh my goodness, 2016, at a location of Michigan Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed, and that's in the case ending in 1391. And also case ending in 1392 is dismissed on the prosecutor's motion. Fines and costs of $180. When can you get that paid, ma'am?
By Friday, Your Honor. This Friday, Your Honor.
This Friday?
This upcoming
Okay.
Friday.
It's 16? No, 23. Working on Alan's calendar. I know, I resisted, but now it's all on. All right, pay it, ma'am, pay it by the 23rd, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Actually, no, here's what I have to do, ma'am, pay it by the 27th, I'll give you till after the holiday. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you. All right,
Thank
you
you.
have a great day.
You have a better one. Thank you.
Court does call the case of the People versus Tasha Beavers.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
This is an arraignment, Your Honor.
This is an arraignment. Oh, sorry. Hello.
Hello,
What's your name?
Tasha Viewers.
All right. Ma'am, you are before the court on a misdemeanor complaint or citation that alleges that on or about April 18, 2025, at the location of Twin Lakes Drive in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you were in possession of drug paraphernalia. You understand the nature of that charge, ma'am?
Yes,
That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
yes,
All right. So first question I'll ask you, ma'am, is do you want to be represented by an attorney?
yes.
It's a public defender case, please.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Penny on behalf of Ms. Beavers. We waive further reading, standing it to the charges and request another pretrial date, please, Your Honor.
Defendant have a waive formal reading. Standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond in this case will be set in the amount of a $10,000 personal recognizance bond. I'll order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or any possession of weapons. I will indicate that there's to be no possession or consumption of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. You understand all of that, ma'am?
Yes,
Ma'am, if I sent you over to test now, would you come back clean?
I have marijuana in my system.
Pardon?
No,
What would show up?
marijuana,
Do you have a medical marijuana card?
no,
Is that the only thing that would show up?
in my medicine.
I'm gonna order. Drug of choice in this case was a while.
Marijuana,
I'm gonna order 1 time per week random testing at community corrections. I want the defendant to test today.
Do you have $12?
no.
Okay.
All right, thank you. We'll see you on the 4th. Yeah, because I got to get in order. Court does call the case of the people versus Kia Berry.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Public Defender Natalie Caitlin on behalf of Ms. Berry. Ma'am, can you please state your name for the record?
My name is Kia Berry.
All right.
So Your Honor, Ms. Berry is scheduled to retake her test again this coming Friday.
Which part? The written or the
It
driving?
might be the road or the written test. Is that correct? Ms.
Okay.
Berry?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very hopeful as is she that she'll pass. We're asking for an adjournment so that she can take that test.
What's this, May 12th? All right, I'll adjourn this. I finally saw one. Hang on, I'm correcting. I'll adjourn this. June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m.
So June 18th, is that right?
Pardon?
June 18th at 9 a.m., right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Court calls the case, people versus Daniel Bowe.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Yeah.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Bowe, who stands to my right, please state your name for the record, sir.
Daniel Robert Bowe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So actually, Mr. Bowe is going to be accepting the offer extended today of double parking, but he did want to appear to speak with Your Honor as well.
So, Your Honor, he does have a temporary instructional permit, so I'm gonna move that count 2 of double parking. Accept that admission and move dismiss the original charge.
All right.
I was just wondering if.
Hold on, let me do this
all right.
part. Now, I'll hear from you, okay? Hold on, just hold on a minute. Ah, I can get to that. Mr. Bowe, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on July 12th, 2024, at the location of Carpenter Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you did double park a motor vehicle?
Yes, sir.
All right, court will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. All right, what do you want to tell me?
Only thing I was asking is there any way I can get my fines and costs waived? Because I had to pay $3,400 to get my license back, and I'm about flat broke. I literally just paid, I think it was $3,450. I paid a little over $3,400 to get my license.
For what?
Huh?
Tickets and stuff?
Yeah, well, I was in prison during COVID and my sister got a ticket in Livonia in my vehicle. And they didn't pull her over, but they issued the ticket to my plate and it lapsed and it turned into like over $3,000 in tickets. I ended up having to pay them. So
Not from one ticket, but
no, it was because my car wasn't registered while I was in prison and she drove it. So it got hit with no registration, no invalid
so now he's
plate.
here blaming his sister.
Well, no, I mean,
No, you see what happened?
I still paid it.
You know what, you see what he's doing?
I still
He
paid
came in, he
it,
said,
but-
yeah, I want to go before the judge because I won't blame her. 'Cause- How long did you do, young man?
I did about 3.5 years. Oh, sorry.
He also has a new baby at home.
Yeah, I got a 6-month-old.
I don't care. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Is that your first?
No, he's my second. I got a 14-year-old who goes to Franklin High School in Livonia. So it's
You waited a
it's a
while.
challenge right now. Yeah, I got two different worlds going on.
Little boy or little girl?
Little boy.
And the older one is?
A boy.
So you got boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted a girl, but
Mm.
and once the boy came, I was
No,
happy. with it.
you want a little girl. Then they become teenagers and
Yeah, I know. I got a buddy that has nothing but girls, and they're all teenagers now. Looks like he lost all his hair in the process. So
wow, that's what happened.
I know what you're about to ask me. I feel like the answer is none, but
I don't have to hold on to anything.
I don't
think
think so. I don't think so. Either, 'cause it's not.
Hang on a second. Jim.
Yeah, you don't.
No. And you're gonna stay on the right course if I do something for you here on this?
yes, sir.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So let's see. He told me he had a baby, right? Trying to get sympathy. And he said, none of this is my fault. It's my sister. Trying to say, oh, poor guy. Then I'm flat broke because I paid these other people $3,400, but I don't want to pay you, Judge Simpson, a dime.
Dang.
That's what I'm hearing, man.
When you put it out like that, it sounds way better.
I know. Didn't it though? Fines and costs of 180, I'll waive the entire balance. Good luck, young man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
sir.
Court calls the case People versus Anna Lee Burgess.
Conrad Silver on behalf of the township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Kate with on behalf of Ms. Burgess, who should be appearing via Zoom.
Yes, she's there.
Please state your name to the record.
Annalee Burgess.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're respectfully requesting an adjournment. Ms. Burgess has a DMV appointment out in Rhode Island, where she has family and where I believe her license originates from on the 11th of June. So we would be asking for an adjournment after that date.
Will she be back by the 18th if she goes out?
Yes.
Yes.
You will? Okay. I'll adjourn you to June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. All
Thank
right?
you, Judge.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Court does call the case People versus Diamond Buyers.
Conrad Silver on behalf of the township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Ms. Byers. Ms. Byers, please state your name for the record.
Diamond Buyers.
Okay, there she.
Your Honor, we are requesting an adjournment so Ms. Byers can consider her options further.
During the matter, June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued. All right, thank you, Ms. Byers.
Thank you.
Court calls the case People versus D'Amico Cummings.
Conrad Silver on behalf of the township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Cummings.
Oh, wow.
Well, Your Honor, I don't have an explanation for his failure to appear. multiple times this week regarding this case. I did provide him with new information and the time. I don't have an explanation for his failure to request an adjournment for the record.
Bench warrant, 5,000. 10%, that warrant will issue immediately. Court calls the cases of the people versus Derek Embry.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Embry. Mr. Embry, please state your name for the record.
Derek Embry. All right, he's sideways, but that's now he's upside down. You don't know what you're doing, do you?
I'm on my phone. I'm on my break right now.
It's all right. Oh, now you're good. No, I don't know. All right, what are we doing? Because he's making me dizzy.
Unlike the previous case, Mr. Embry and I have not had a conversation. However, he is here. So I'm asking for an adjournment. There has been an offer made on this case. I think we're going to be able to resolve it. Just need a little bit more time.
All right. I'll adjourn it June 18, 2025, 9 a.m. All right. Thank you, Mr. Embry.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Court calls the case of the people versus Michael Erickson.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Erickson. Your Honor, there has been an offer to double parking in this case. He has given me permission to accept that offer on his behalf.
So Your Honor, I move to add count 2 of double parking. You accept the admission, move to dismiss the original charge.
And you have authority to do so, and you do accept so on behalf of your client.
That's correct. Yes.
Court will accept the admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can he pay?
He's asking for 30 days. He is inpatient at Don Farm right now. But he said he can get it paid in 30 days.
July 31st, 2025. All right. Time to get it done. Court does call the case of the people versus Angel Ford.
This is an arraignment and Ms. Ford is in Zoom.
Yes, she is. Ma'am, state your name, please.
Angel Ford.
All right. Ms. Ford, you are before the court on a citation that alleges that on or about April 22nd, 2025, at the location of Ellsworth Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you did operate a motor vehicle in violation of your license restrictions, namely you drove without an interlock system. You understand the nature of that charge, ma'am?
Yes.
That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. First question I have for you is, do you want to be represented by an attorney?
Yes.
This is a public defender case.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Ms. Ford. We waive any further reading standing to the charges and request another pretrial date.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. For bond in this case will be a $10,000 personal recognizance bond, standard conditions, including no assault behavior, possession of any weapons, no use of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. You understand that, ma'am?
Yeah.
And Your Honor, we do not have a number for Ms. Ford in JIS. I would ask that you call up to the court and or the public defender's office and update your contact information, Ms. Ford.
Okay. Did you need the public defender's office number?
I do.
Okay, let me give it to you. You're in Ann Arbor, so it's area code 734-222-6970.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls case people versus Trevor Score.
Good
morning, Your Honor.
All right. I need a camera, please.
All right. Can you see me, Your Honor? Good morning.
Yes, I can see you. State your name.
My name is Travers Wolf Gore.
Gore, you are before the court on a misdemeanor complaint that alleges that on or about October 13, 2013, at a location in Pittsfield Township, that being Lily Park North, that you did operate a motor vehicle with a high blood alcohol content, with a high blood alcohol level. You understand that?
I do understand that.
All right. That's a misdemeanor. It is punishable by up to 180 days in jail, a $200 to $700 fine plus court costs. The court could order community service or any rehabilitative services the court deems necessary. The court could also order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services, as well as immobilize your vehicle. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't have.
All right. So my first question for you is, do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
No, I'd like to resolve this problem as soon as possible.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Can I explain what had happened that I remember?
I can't, if you can have a trial, if you want it set for trial, I can set it for trial. I might suggest that you might want to be represented by an attorney, sir, if you're looking to get this resolved because of the nature of the charges.
Yeah,
But that's up to you. Do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
Yes, please.
It's the public defender case.
Afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Gore. We waive further readings, stand muted to the charges, and request another pretrial date. I will say, check JAS. It looks like Mr. Gore now lives in Florida. I would ask that he be able to.
I'll let him stay where he is.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set the pretrial for June 18, 2025 at 9 a.m. What was the alleged BAC in
The
this?
data master, 0.30.29.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set his bond at a 30,000 personal recognizance bond. All other standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapons. There should be no use of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. Under these circumstances, I would normally order a tether of some type, and I'm just this was a 2013 case. Have you been in treatment at all, sir?
I have. I just tomorrow is my 20-month sobriety. I was at the Salvation Army of Tampa, ARC since the 21st of 2023 till April 25. So I did 19 and a half months of in-house treatment and worked for the Salvation Army. I've done the 12-step program and I now sponsor other men in the program.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna withhold my decision as to whether or not to order a tether. You are to provide through your attorney treatment information, and then I can take that into consideration in terms of any further bond conditions.
I have all that with me today, actually. So.
Okay, so you'll need to submit that to your attorney, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Now, how do I get a hold of my attorney? Do I call that 222 number or do I?
Yes, if you wrote it down, thank you.
Yeah, 222-6970.
Yes, area code 734.
Yes, sir. I
have a number for you that ends in 0016. Is that the best number for you?
00. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right. Take care. Court calls. Yes, here. Court calls case people versus, is it Anray, Gory? Anray?
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Gore. Mr. Gore, please state your name for the record.
Gory.
Gory, all right.
Your Honor, we do have a resolution.
Why is everybody sideways? It's just like the second one. I'll go through. There you go. All right. Well, now, okay, there he is. All right, what are we doing?
We do have a resolution. Mr. Gore is going to accept the prosecutor's offer to plead to 257.326.
Okay, the allowing an eligible driver.
Correct. Yeah, count two, allowing an eligible driver to operate MCL 257.326.
All right. Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I didn't hear.
Yes.
Okay. Sir, it is this court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of allowing an eligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail, a $100 fine plus court costs. You understand that? Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
All right. Understanding that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding those rights?
No.
Look at paragraph 5 on that form. Those are your rights, which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised he needs to be stationary?
I'm sorry.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No.
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes.
And also because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes.
July 5th, 2023, at the location of Carpenter Road near Ellsworth Road, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Did you allow someone who was otherwise ineligible to operate that motor vehicle?
Yes.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Sir, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
No.
Fines and costs of $250. I'll suspend 90 days in jail. When can you get the $250 paid?
Can y'all give me at least 60 days? I'm clearing up. I got about $1,500 in fees to pay. I'm getting all these courts out the way, and you guys were the last court that I had to get in contact with. So
you held us till last?
Say it again.
What? I said you held us till last?
I was going in order. That's all. I was just trying to get it out.
Oh, okay. So we ended up Washtenaw, so we're at the bottom. Okay.
No, y'all at the top. Y'all
and
y'all the furthest too. So
all right. Okay. Look, young man, get this paid off. I'll give you till July 31st, 2025. How's that?
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Oh, you too.
Court calls case People versus Shamika Grimmett.
Henry Fuller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie, you have Ms. Grimmett, and should be present via Zoom.
I think I did see her. Yep. Ms. Grimmett?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Need a camera. All right. What are we doing? Oh, there she is. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. So Ms. Grimmett had 4 tickets that were holding up her license before she could take her test again. 3 of those tickets are paid off, and one of them actually gets paid on the 4th of June. So then she can potentially take her test. That being said, I'm not trying to pick a date, but I would ask if the court would consider adjourning this out to July 2nd.
She's got a warrant out of 1484.
I did not know that, Your Honor.
For another driving while license. Hold it. Yeah, for driving while license suspended charge. That occurred The offense date of that is February 20th of 2025. So after you were arraigned on this, you picked up another ticket. It was February 20th at 11:01 PM.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I know it's not you probably can't.
I know
answer
about that ticket. I was on my way to work.
Can, but she needs to appear over there.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, actually here, because yeah, if she appears here or sends in a warrant recall, they'll probably do that and set her another date.
Thank you, Your Honor. But she has not been arraigned on that case yet?
She actually was. Yeah, well, hang on a second. It looks like she was.
I don't show that she was arraigned.
You don't show it?
No, sir.
Okay, I just see the next things appearing. So she has not been arraigned.
Oh, okay. Your Honor.
So this case, I will adjourn to the July 2nd, 2025 date, 9 AM. I'll give her the time to do that. She's got to get that other thing clear and then get in, try to get a license back. Court,
Thank you, Your Honor.
court does call the case People versus Chelsea Hogan.
Henry Silver, on behalf of Dismissal Township.
Defender Dan Lee, on behalf of Ms. Hogan.
Ms. Hogan, can you state your name, please?
Chelsea Hogan.
All right, yep, she's here.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe there's a resolution in this case to which my client will be admitting responsibility for the civil infraction of failing to stop, and in exchange, the misdemeanor will be dismissed.
That's correct, Your Honor. So I move failure to stop at within an assured clear distance. It's MCL 257.627.
So,
Or 9? I think it's 7.
okay, we'll try that. What do you have? Is that?
120.
All right. And then count one would be dismissed.
That's correct. Thank you.
All right, ma'am, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on November 10th, 2024, at a location in Pittsfield Township, that you operated a motor vehicle and that you failed to stop at a shared clear distance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court will accept that admission to that count two. Count one is dismissed. Fines and cost of $120. When can you get that paid?
Can I get 14 days for that?
14 days? I think we can do that. How about June 6th?
That's perfect. Thank you.
All right, June 6th, 2025.
And
All
I
right.
checked, it is MCL 257.627.
627. All right.
627.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hogan.
Court calls the case People versus Yusuf Jama.
Henry Silver, on behalf of Dismissal Township.
Defender Natalie Tate, with and on behalf of Mr. Dama, who is present via Zoom. Here, can you please unmute and state your name for the record?
Yusuf Jama.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm respectfully requesting an adjournment. I guess 2 in a row, or not quite in a row. I will be asking for the July 2nd date. Just this morning, I was able to provide some treatment verification to Mr. Siller. We're hoping to see possibly some more information or to see how well Mr. Jama continues in that program. So I would.
So he's currently in treatment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Without objection, July 2nd, 2025, 9 AM.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case People versus Chad Jones.
Henry Silver, on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
This is a short one.
Chad Jones. I issued an order to show cause.
Yes.
Not appearing, bench warrant will issue, bond 5,000. Give 10% privilege, that warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the People versus Nariman Kasham.
Henry Silver, on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Ms. Kasham, who does have a valid license and did give me permission to accept the offer on her behalf.
So, Your Honor, I moved at count 2 of double parking. If you accept that admission and dismiss the original charge.
And you having authority, you do admit responsibility to that on behalf of your client.
I do.
Court will admit Responsibility to count two or accept responsibilities. Accept the admission to responsibility under count two. Count one is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can that get paid?
I'd ask for 4 weeks, Your Honor.
Just cause or what?
Right? Seems good. Nice round number.
Pay it by June 30th, 2025. Court calls the case, People versus William Katke.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Harney on behalf of Mr. Katke. Mr. Katke, please state your name for the record.
William Katke.
Your Honor, we have come to a resolution. Mr. Katke is going to be pleading guilty to allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle, 257.326. I do have an advice of rights form that he gave me permission. Never mind, I don't even need this. Mr. Schiller informed me that he's gonna give you an even better offer, Mr. Katke. He's offering you to admit responsibility of double parking, which is not, it's a civil infraction, doesn't go on your driving record, doesn't go on your criminal record. It's a fine of $180.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
I did.
My choice. Later on, I think that count two double parking, if you accept that, move to dismiss original charge.
All right, Mr. Katke, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on February 10th, 2025, location of Michigan Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
I do.
All right. Court will accept that admission to count two. Count one is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can you get that paid, sir?
Today.
Oh, thank you. Pay that today. May want to wait till later in the afternoon to try to, if you pay it online.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Jaden Kendrick.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Public Defender Natalie Pate. Oh, he is here on Zoom. With on behalf of Mr. Kendrick, who appears via Zoom. Sir, can you please state your name for the record?
Jaden Kendrick.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do not have a good phone number for Mr. Kendrick. I do have an email address, however, so I would ask first for an adjournment, and then secondarily, if Mr. Kendrick would be so kind as to call the public defender's office, update his phone number.
I'll adjourn him June 18, 2025, 9 a.m. Okay. You got the PD's number?
Oh, which Washtenaws?
Yeah.
I can get it.
Okay, you got to call them, make sure they have a good phone number for you.
Got it.
Okay, all right.
And this is by June
Thank
18th?
you. Yes, the 18th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court does call the case of the People versus Vincent Lambert.
Conrad Siller.
Okay, no.
So this is an arraignment, Your Honor. The second case is a
Warrant.
and I don't have. Mr. Lambert.
Vincent Lambert, no response. I have another warrant, so bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear, bond $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately, given the other warrant. Court does call the case of the People versus Montez Miller.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
On behalf of Mr. Miller, who may be present via Zoom. I don't have Mr. So, Your Honor, I was able to, I do not have a direct number for Mr. Miller himself. I only have his mother's number and then the number of the Christian Guidance Center. I spoke with someone there. It is my understanding that he's not currently there, but has been there previously. To that end, outside of not having a direct phone number for him, so I was unable to communicate with him directly. I do not have an explanation for his failure to appear. For the record, I request an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue bond 5,000, 10%.
They are here in Zoom.
They are. The court does call the case of Pittsfield Township versus Guzen Hung. Here. No, that's not you. Ms. Hung?
Go ahead. Kim time later. Hi, Lê Hậu.
All right. She's there. We were unable to get an interpreter through our two services. So I do not have an interpreter. Is there somebody there with her that
Yes.
does speak?
Yes, I am the daughter.
Pardon?
I am the daughter.
Okay. So since we don't have a court interpreter on this, I'm going to adjourn this out and give us time to try to find one. I'll adjourn it to July 2nd, 2025. 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates, and hopefully we can get an interpreter prior to that time. All right?
You say July 2nd?
Yes, ma'am.
July 2nd, 9 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Tanisha Moore.
Conrad Siller on behalf of the township.
I have this as an arraignment, Your Honor, and I don't have her check. Oh,
Did-
she might be in Zoom.
Tanisha Moore. I don't see, I got one screen, so I don't see.
Yeah, I don't have her check.
This was set for an arraignment initially. All right, I'll issue an order to show cause on this. Court does call the case of the People versus Amy Moriarty.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pay on behalf of Ms. Moriarty, who may be present via Zoom.
Moriarty, you have her at all?
I do not.
I don't have her.
Your Honor, I do not have an explanation for her failure to appear outside of the fact that I did not have a phone number for her, just an email address, but I did not hear back, so I don't know if that was good or not either. For the record, I request an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue bond 5,000, 10%. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the People versus Demarius Munoz.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Public Defender Natalie Pay with on behalf of Ms. Munoz, who is present via Zoom. Ma'am,
Oh, there she is. Okay.
sorry. Ma'am, unmute and state your name for the court.
Damaris Monreal Munoz.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm respectfully requesting one, I believe, last brief adjournment of this matter so I can discuss this more in detail with my client. We've been playing a little bit of phone tag. She's in school a lot during the day. I've spoken to her brother. But now it's adjournment.
All right.
Okay.
June 4th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Case People versus Giovanni Benitez Flores.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
This is an arraignment.
All right.
And I don't have it.
Oh, he's right here. What's your name, sir?
Giovanni Alfredo Benítez Flores.
¿Habla inglés? No, nada más. Un poco.
We have 3 more.
Okay. We have 3.
Need a Spanish interpreter.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you to wait so we can get an interpreter.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Thank you.
We can put that.
Just cross it.
Court calls case of the People versus Ernesto Cundono Ramirez.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Ernesto Uno Ramirez. He has, I don't know if he's there, but he has given me permission to admit to double parking on his behalf.
Carduno Ramirez? Not here, but you have permission.
That's correct.
So Your Honor, I move that counsel double parking. If you accept that admission, to dismiss the original charge.
And you having authority to do so, you would so admit responsibility to count 2.
Yes.
Court will accept that admission to count 2. Count one is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can that be paid?
Well, Your Honor, regarding the money, I'm asking that this court consider not ordering any fines and costs. Mr. Garduno Ramirez was recently deported from this country to Mexico. As you can imagine, that's a big disturbance in his life. I think he's, getting back on his feet in Mexico, but he doesn't have any income or anything like that at this time.
So he's been deported.
Yes, he did communicate with me about this. He wanted to resolve this, but he just had
So
no.
despite that, he still was trying to resolve this.
Yes.
I think costs are waived. Court calls the case, People versus Tridaniel Pearson.
Conrad Solar on behalf of this.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Pearson, who I'm hoping is on Zoom.
I do see him. I see.
Oh, yeah, he is. Mr. Pearson, can you unmute?
Tridaniel Pearson, you need to unmute and turn on your camera. Oh, there he is. Okay, we got a picture of him. Now I need you to unmute.
Okay.
Got
Hello?
it? Okay. State your name, sir.
Tridaniel Pearson.
Even though he's up there with that Alabama hat on. I don't know. This is Big Ten country. We might need to do something there. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, I'll pass along a message. Mr. Pearson his license has been medically revoked. He has gotten the medication necessary from his doctor to go back to the Secretary of State to, I think some circumstances have changed, to ask for his license back. So he's just waiting for a date from Secretary of State, and we're asking for an adjournment so he can complete that process.
Okay. But we don't have any idea how long that.
No, I got the paperwork here. I'm sorry, I faxed it to him, and I'm just waiting on the appointment that my doctor filled out, that it was okay, to reinstate my license, and I'm waiting on.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll adjourn it out to July 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. Okay.
Okay.
And hopefully what that will do is that will give enough time for them to give you your appointment, tell you what you need to do, and for you to buy a University of Maryland hat.
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
All right, Mr. Pearson, you take care.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Court calls the case, People versus Stephen Pena.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Public Defender Natalie Pate for Mr. Pena, who gave me permission to accept the offer on his behalf.
Your Honor, he does have a valid license, so I'm going to add count 2 double parking. You accept that admission and dismiss from charge.
And you having authority, you do admit responsibility to count 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept that admission to count 2. Fines and costs of $180. When can that be paid?
We're asking for 30 days, Your Honor.
June 30th,
Thank you, Your Honor.
2025. Court calls the case, People versus James Raggett.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, this is the Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Raggett. Mr. Raggett, please state your name for the record.
You have it? Oh, he is.
James
There he is. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I am requesting an adjournment so we can review the video. I did receive that from Mr. Siller's office this week.
I'll adjourn the matter to June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continue. Oh. Court calls the case, People versus Todd Rayberg.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
It is a show cause. Todd Rayberg. Not here. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond $5,000. Give it 10% privilege. Warrant issued immediately. Court calls case People versus Jacob Robinson.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
System Public Defender Natalie, on behalf of Mr. Robinson, who gave me permission to accept the offer on his behalf.
Defendant does have a valid license, so it's moved to count 2 of double parking. And of course, if you accept that, I move to dismiss the original charge.
You having authority, you do admit responsibility to count 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Court will accept that admission to count 2. Fines and cost of $180. When can that be paid?
Mr. Robinson was asking for 2 months, Your Honor.
You're just extending, aren't you? But
No.
yeah, you are.
2 months.
July 31st, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case People versus Kent Robinson.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie paid for Mr. Kent Robinson, who may be present via Zoom. Sir, if you're there, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Kent Robinson. No response.
Your Honor, I don't have an explanation for his failure to appear outside of the fact that I did not have a phone number that was in service for him. I did send an email, did not hear back. I don't know if it was his correct email or not. For the record, I respect the request of adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue on $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Amy Schaffler.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
He says a show cause.
Amy Schaffler. No response. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond $5,000. Give it 10% privilege. Warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the People versus Michael Scott.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Yes, this is Federal Lord Attorney on behalf of Mr. Scott. Your Honor, I know Mr. Scott is homeless. He does not have any direct contact information. I attempted to contact his friend. I've spoken to his parents before, but I was not able to speak with him this week. I have no explanation for his failure to appear today. I would ask for an adjournment of the pretrial.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond $5,000. 10%. Warrant will issue immediately this time. Court calls the case of the People versus L.C. Scribbling.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Oh, there it is.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Scribbing, who stands to my right.
Sorry, excuse me.
Your name is
L.C. Scribbling.
Thank you, Your Honor. There's a resolution in this matter to which my client will be pleading guilty to the added count 2 of allowing an ineligible person to drive, and in exchange, count 1 would be dismissed. I do have his signed advice of rights form here.
That's correct, Your Honor. So yeah, count 2 of allowing this person to operate in CL 257.326. You accept that guilty plea, dismiss your charge.
May I have this one?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name.
L.C. Scribbling.
All right, sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days of jail, $100 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, understanding that, still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding those rights?
No.
Please look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights, which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily?
Yes.
Of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
And because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes.
All right. On the date of May 20th, 2022, at the location of Washtenaw Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Did you allow someone who was otherwise ineligible to operate that motor vehicle?
Yes.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Anything either of you'd like to say before I impose sentence?
Nothing, Your Honor, except I would ask that the court consider the least amount of fines and costs for Mr. Scribbings. He's been great to work with. The little bit I've known him, I would just ask for the court to consider.
So you want me to, what, lower the fines and costs?
I know the typical sentence is 250 in that range. I would ask the court to consider the statutory minimums, given he's represented by our office and has appeared in person here today.
Where did she come up with that argument? All that. She must like scribbling. He must be a really nice person.
Yeah, and he even gave me my pen back. I gave it to him and walked away like for an hour, and he made sure I got it back. Like, I was real impressed.
So I had to lower his fines because he returned property that was already yours? What?
It's an added argument. Yeah, he's on top of things.
Is there anything you want to say? He says, no, I'm just a nice guy. $250 fines and court costs, 90 days in jail that is suspended. When can this be paid?
About 5 minutes. Right now.
Pardon?
I can pay it right now.
Oh, you can pay it today? Okay.
Yes.
Pay it today out at the counter. I was gonna say, if you needed time, then take her pen and sell it. No.
Get a penny for it, maybe. Has something tucked in it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Take care of yourself.
Take it easy.
Court calls the case, People versus Bosie Smith.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, please state your name for the record.
Boise Smith.
All right, Your Honor, we have been here multiple times with Mr. Smith, but he has made some kind of progress. He submitted his packet to the revocation board. He's just waiting for his date. So he submitted that 3 to 4 weeks ago, and is just waiting to hear back from the Secretary of State.
Well, I'll grant one more adjournment, June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Court calls case, People versus Kevin Stevenson.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. Stevenson. Your Honor, he is currently.
Oh, the nice guy showed back up.
Mr. Stevenson is currently incarcerated as of today and confirmed fine like at Calhoun County Jail. He was expected to be released sometime at the end of this month, but as of today, that has not happened. So
He's scheduled to be released sometime at the end of this month.
Yes, he had told our office like well over a week ago that he thought he'd be out late May. I checked again today. He is still very much there. So that's when I keep for his failure to appear. So I would ask for an adjournment given.
June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Court calls case of the People versus Zachary Steiber.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. Steiber, who I believe is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
My name is Zachary Steiber. Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. I had the opportunity to speak about this with my client. He is actively working with someone, and he has sent me some documentation to that end to try to get an administrative hearing date in front of the Secretary of State. We're asking for an adjournment to see if that is able to happen, and also there's some documentation I'd like to provide to Mr. Siller.
All right. I will adjourn the matter July 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Soraya Streeter.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Ms. Streeter. Ms. Streeter, please unmute and state your name for the record.
Soraya Streeter.
Okay.
Your Honor, Ms. Streeter had her permit, but then it expired. She has not been able to get back to Secretary of State to get it updated. She had surgery on her foot. I think that's been kind of preventing her from getting around. We are asking for an adjournment so she can do that and avail herself to the offer.
Unfortunately, I had complications during the reconstruction surgery.
Okay. And so you're not sure when you're gonna be able to get down there to,
They say that I should have at least 4 more weeks of PT left
got it.
because they did have to take my big toe.
Okay. July 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Court calls the case of the people versus Mallory Tyfel.
Hunter and Solar on behalf of.
This is a show cause, Your Honor.
Mallory Tyfel. Not present. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 5,000. 10%. Warrant will issue immediately. Court does call the case of the people versus Stephen Trent.
Hunter and Solar on behalf of Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Trent. Mr. Trent, please state your name for the record.
Stephen James Trent.
Oh, there he is.
Your Honor, we are requesting an adjournment of the pretrial. Mr. Trent is working on getting his license. He too has sent his packet to the revocation board and is waiting on a date.
Oh, okay, I see. July 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. All right,
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Court does call the case, people versus Daniel Nuggle.
Here, sir.
Hunter and Solar on behalf of.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. Brendan Dabolsky appearing on behalf of Daniel Nagel. Your Honor, at this time, we would be asking for one final adjournment. I've been in talks with Mr. Nagel and I've been conversing via email with Mr. Siller. I think we may be close to a resolution, but I just need just a little more time in this matter.
Mr. Noggle, can you state your name? He's
Daniel Noggle.
You pick him up?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's okay. I'll adjourn the matter June 18th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Court
you.
calls the case, people versus Jada Tavarro.
Hunter and Solar on behalf of Dismissal Township.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Wonderful to see you. Robert Ellman with and on behalf of Mr. Varro.
Good to see you, Mr. Owen, as always. Yes. All right. Your name?
Jada Trevero.
Tavarro.
Your Honor, I have wonderful news to share. After a long and arduous discussion with Mr. Siller, he has agreed to dismiss this case.
He caved? I mean, no, what?
No, he came to the reasonable conclusion.
My mind. No, Your Honor, I'm moving to dismiss.
And I'm assuming there's no objection.
None at all, Your Honor.
This case is dismissed. That's without prejudice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You do the same. Court calls the case of the people versus Ebony Whitsett.
Hunter and Solar on behalf of Dismissal Township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Whitsett. Ms. Whitsett, please state your name for the record.
Get her there.
Ebony Whitsett.
Okay, there she is. Okay.
Your Honor, we have come to a resolution. Ms. Whitsett is going to be pleading guilty to allowing an ineligible driver to operate an added count to the case ending in 0079.
Okay, so it's gonna be on
And
that.
count 2 and 0079. Yep.
Okay, and then what are we doing with the other case?
That case will be dismissed.
Okay, so count one. Oh, gotcha. All right.
My phone might die.
Well,
Oh, my
you're gonna have to come in person, so you might want to charge it.
Huh? It's on the charger right now.
Okay, all right. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, state your name again.
Ebony Whitfat.
All right, ma'am, it's this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail, $100 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
And understanding that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You signed an advice of rights form?
Yes.
Any question regarding those rights?
No.
Okay. Paragraph 5 is your trial rights. You understand that you're giving up those as well as all the rights that are contained on that form?
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to this charge?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
Doing this voluntarily
Yes.
and of your own free will?
Yes.
And because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes.
January 26, 2023, at the location of Gulfside Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Were you in possession and had custody and control of a motor vehicle?
Yes.
And did you allow someone who is otherwise ineligible to operate that motor vehicle?
Yes.
So have I complied with the court rule?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2 in case 790079. Count 1 as well as the case ending in 1595 is dismissed. Ma'am, is there anything you want to say before I impose sentence? Fines and cost of $250. I'll suspend 90 days in jail. When can you get that paid?
Probably. Can I get a month? But it'll probably be quicker than a month though.
Pay it by June 30th, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Court calls the case People versus Henry Williams.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate with him on behalf of Mr. Williams, who should be probably soon.
He is here.
Henry Williams.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, sir. So I have discussed this matter with my client. He's asking for a 4 to 6 week adjournment to work on getting his license.
Where are we on this? He just, I'll adjourn the matter to July 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continue.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Court calls case People versus Mark Williams.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, please state your name for the record.
He's not.
Well, Your Honor, we did speak to him. We provided him with the Zoom information. I don't have an explanation for his failure to appear today.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 5,000, 10%. That warrant will issue immediately. Thank you. I did. All right. They're both the same type of motion.
And so just to begin with, I have no pleas being withdrawn.
Hang on a second. Let me call the case.
Okay.
Court calls the cases of the People versus, was it Akeem Ideri? And also Nasser, no, I'm sorry. Is it Malik Kafar? That's about the best I'm going to do. Okay, can you state your names?
Akin Albadiri.
Karar Maliki.
Okay. Oh, and she is so cute.
Thank you.
Who is she?
She's my daughter.
Oh, okay, I thought as much. But what's her name?
Her name? Arak.
She's beautiful. How old is she?
She's 2.5.
2.5. All right. She's like all of these strange people. She's like looking at it. All right.
So Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township. Your Honor, we've come to a global resolution and everything.
Okay.
So for each defendant, I have no objection to the court withdrawing their pleas.
All right. So I'm going to put defendant's motion to withdraw pleas is granted. No objection from people.
No objection.
All right. All right.
For Ms. Baderi, I'm going to move to dismiss her case.
Okay.
I believe the officer made a mistake by issuing the citation.
I was curious as to how two happened, but
Correct.
I'm not.
Yes.
The
court has seen a lot of citations and it caught your attention.
It did that. And I thought if it rightfully belonged to someone, I couldn't tell who it did. Let me just get her file straight. So, Ms. Baderi, your plea in this case is your motion to withdraw the plea is granted, and then your case is dismissed. Okay.
Now, did she post a bond, Your Honor?
So
Do you have a bond?
they paid the fines and costs in full when they signed the plea bond mails, so orders are ready to be carried to refund.
Okay, so how much did they pay?
She paid $200 even.
Is that what you recall? 200 was paid?
Yeah.
All right, so. Okay, I'm gonna have the 200 refunded to you, okay? All right, now, this gentleman, what are we doing?
I'm going to add a count two of double parking.
Of course you are.
Going to hit double parking. And then, of course, have the misdemeanor charge dismissed.
Okay, sir, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on March 11, 2025, on State Street, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Court will accept that admission to count two. Count one is dismissed.
Yes.
All right.
And he may be owed a small refund on his.
Yeah. So how much did you pay 200?
Yes.
All right. So fines and costs of $180. And I'm going to put refund $20 to defendant. Okay. So you should get 200 back. You'll get $20.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Sorry about the wait.
No, thank